Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. IREX, Residency and Citizenship Conclave.
The IREX Residency and Citizenship Conclave was recently held in Mumbai in conjunction with the 6th edition of the International Real Estate Expo 2020, an annual gathering that offers investment avenues for HNIs who intend to invest in international residency program and citizenship by investment opportunity. The conclave was a one-stop shop for Indian citizens looking to invest in international real estate properties and top-ranked immigrant investor programs offered by different countries. The event witnessed participation of international real estate developers, EB5 companies and immigration companies from USA, UAE, UK, Australia, Cyprus, Greece, Portugal, Turkey, Caribbean and Canada amongst others. The event witnessed a footfall of over 1,500 visitors, of which 70% were direct investors and the remaining 30% were industry experts, agents, advisors and legal consultants to understand the offerings of global real estate players and EB5 companies. A panel discussion was held on the topic Comparative Analysis of Citizenship and Residency by Investment Programs, which was moderated by CNBC TV 18's Sonal Bhutra.
I would like to pitch it to all our panelists out here. Please tell us how will you woo all the Indians? What are the features of your respective programs and why should an Indian come and invest in your particular country as far as the residential market is concerned and as far as the citizen benefits are concerned?
So there are three levels in which you can invest in Portugal. First one is €500,000 is the minimum threshold where you can buy any kind of property. The second threshold is €350,000, which is in a property which is more than 30 years old and it needs to be refurbished and redeveloped. And the third threshold is €280,000, which is essentially in areas which have very low population density, so about 100 people living in about a square kilometer. What you need to do essentially is to make a purchase. You need to have a bank account in Portugal. You make the full payment and you apply for a golden visa, and it's that simple in 3 easy steps. So the investment that you make, you're required to hold that investment for a period of 5 years, after which you can choose one of the three options. You can choose to continue holding your residence card for yourself and your family. You don't have to liquidate your investment in that case. The second option is you can apply for a permanent residency. You get a permanent residency for a period of up to 10 years, and you have the option of liquidating your investment if you choose to. The third option is to apply for citizenship. There are many countries which offer dual nationalities. India unfortunately doesn't, so you'll have to give up your Indian nationality, but you have the option of applying for a Portuguese nationality. The wonderful thing about the Portuguese program is that it is non-discriminatory and non-discretionary.
Basically, the US EB5 program, a lot of people are familiar with. There have been significant changes in recent months. There are two paths to getting the green card through the EB5. One is the 900,000 minimum amount. There is also a higher investment of 1.8 million. The 900,000 is if you invest in what is called a targeted employment area. It's an area that's experiencing a high unemployment rate, or it could be in a rural area. But if your investment is not in a targeted employment area, then you have to invest $1.8 million. There are very few projects now that qualify under a TEA. So if you're interested for yourself or for your clients, you need to make sure that you qualify them under the lower investment amount. And the last change has to do with the location of filing for derivative beneficiaries. Derivative beneficiaries can now file from a different location than the original petitioner.
We've been developing in the Caribbean since 2012. We opened the Park Hyatts in Kitts, we opened the Kempinski Dominica, and in the next 2.5 years we'll open the Six Senses in Grenada, all of which are leading hotels in the world. And having the opportunity to work on a beautiful island where the sun is always shining with a maximum temperature of 32, rather than and an office in Canary Wharf or in DIFC was really one of the big push factors which made me change from being an investment banker to starting a development company which specializes on raising capital through citizenship by investment. You see, the award of citizenship to an individual, and we've had some good individuals on this talk about residency, but the actual award of a citizenship in return for an investment has the ability to change people's lives. In India, okay, you have a very strong passport, but there's lots of reasons why Indians, and potentially even non-resident Indians, are looking at citizenship today. Why? There's a lot of tax anxiety which is spreading throughout the non-resident Indian community. If one day someone wants to give up Indian citizenship, this exit tax is no longer a myth.
In Australia, unfortunately, there's no attractive schemes as Grenada or other parts what we have talked about. There's no direct link between property investment and immigration. Property investment is great, which will return 5 to 7% rental yields. It will definitely help towards immigration, but there is either a skilled migration path or a business migration path. So if you're a skilled migrant or skilled worker in the IT, they do have a skilled migration list. If you're part of that, you can apply under skilled migration. Whereas business migration, you can invest, if you're a successful businessman in India, you can invest up from $500,000 up to $15 million and get into the immigration path based on 4 different schemes in business migration.
Greece, as you know, we were in a recession through the last 8 years, economic recession, but now things are getting much, much better. And we have very strong tourism. From 2017, we jumped from 27 million to 33 million this year. 2019, we're expecting about 35 million tourists to come to Greece. Now, this is linked with properties because you can have great returns on investment through tourism. You can have a residency permit with, if you buy a property of 250,000 euros, this stands with, you can get 5 years for you, for the one that buys, the family and the kids up to 21 years old. And it can be automatically renewed if you don't sell the property for another 5 years. So after 7 years, you can apply for citizenship.
For $250,000, you get a passport, you become a Turkish citizen, which actually distinctly different, and I would say it's probably the most progressive programs around the world. For the money that you're going to put in, you're going to get a real estate property, and then 3 to 6 months, you get your passport and your citizenship. Istanbul is very similar to Bombay. So from an economic engine perspective, if Bombay is the engine of India, Istanbul is the engine of Turkey. What that does is when you come there, you just don't come to go and have a good time at the beach. You actually could make potentially a lot of money. And there's tremendous programs in Turkey for industrialist entrepreneurs. As we have done and we gotten passports for our Chinese investors, we're looking forward to do the same for our Indian friends.
Canada, like the United States, does not offer any citizenship by investment program. So when you're talking Canada, the United States, you're always talking about permanent residency in Canada through investment or a green card in the United States through investment. So residency by investment in Canada is really highlighted by 2 things. One, the Canadian immigration system has undergone an extraordinary modernization over the last 20 to 25 years that was intended to adapt the immigration system of Canada to its economic needs. So right now, Canada is going through an upcycle in its economy, and it means that the immigration system of Canada has essentially opened the doors. Point number 2 is the key change is the following. There is a federal program called the Express Entry Program, which many of you may have heard about. 470 points, and the lottery, and this and that. That's always there. the point of entry is really not that program. That program is a difficult program to get because most people don't qualify for that level of points. If you invest in areas that are outlying from the major metropolitan centers of Canada, your opportunity to get permanent residency goes up and your investment thresholds go down. Why? Because Canada wants to incentivize investment into those outlying areas.
Commonwealth of Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia. CS Global Partners is a global marketing agent for these three Caribbean countries. We research, develop, and promote citizenship by investment programs for these particular countries. We make sure that these programs are competitive and robust. Where it comes to Caribbean countries, they are offering you direct citizenship. And as a colleague Mohammed here mentioned, it is a very cost-effective way to become a citizen of other country with all that entails. Basically, it's offering you freedom, mobility, and safety and security and protection of other country, where you are not discriminated in any way and when you are not taxed in, let's say, your present way.
IREX, Residency and Citizenship Conclave.
The IREX Residency and Citizenship Conclave provided delegates an opportunity to meet international immigration companies and explore international residency and citizenship programs. The noon session also proved to be an informative one, beginning with a one-on-one interaction with CNBC TV 18's Sonal Bhutra with Matt Hogan of CMB Regional Centers. The focus of the interaction was on the changes announced by the US Department of Homeland Security regarding the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program.
The most significant change in the program was that investment amount went up. So it used to be a minimum investment of $500,000 if that investment was made into a high unemployment or a rural area. That minimum investment has now gone to $900,000. The old higher investment, or the main investment threshold, used to be $1 million. If it's outside of one of those areas, now that investment is $1.8 million. So the investment amounts have increased significantly. There are a lot of projects that were out there raising at the minimum investment threshold under the old regulations that were in areas that may or may not have fit the original intent of Congress, which was to drive investment dollars into high-need regions. Now, a lot of those projects no longer qualify. There are a lot of regional centers that may or may not continue to operate within the industry, may or may not continue to offer projects because they might have been focused on those areas that no longer qualify. So I would tell you, as far as EB-5's considered, or as far as those changes are considered, the program has gone through a little bit of a transitionary period where people are trying to get comfortable with the changes in the industry, trying to wrap their head around this investment amount and trying to figure out, are they still interested in moving forward under EB-5? Reality of the situation is that EB-5 really truly is the only, opportunity to gain permanent residency in the United States under an investment category.
So tell us, are all the EB-5 regional centers the same, or does the choice of regional center matter for us?
There are over 800 regional centers active in the industry. Every single one of them are different. Some have a lot of experience, like my company. Some of them do not. I would tell you the vast majority of them do not. Every regional center is different. They have different history, different track record. It is so important that you understand who you're working with, that you work with somebody who's got a long track history of success, who's been able to do this before. It's a high dollar investment, and it's an investment for your family's future as much as anything. So you want to put it, you want to move forward with somebody that you can trust, has done this before and will do it right, and can navigate any challenges that may present themselves along the way.
What should an individual take care of while applying for EB-5 visa?
One of the biggest things that I would tell somebody, especially from India, and I mentioned it earlier in my presentation, you want to have a great team around you. Not only do you want to work with a great regional center who can structure a quality investment and give you a high likelihood of success, but you want to make sure you work with a quality, qualified immigration attorney. You want to make sure that you've prepared your investment funds, meaning that you've really thought it through. You've worked with a chartered accountant here in India or tax planning professionals so that they can help you do this right. One thing that's really important and where a lot of people see failure in EB5 is by not properly organizing the sources of their funds. You cannot take out a mortgage here in India and use those investment dollars to make an investment outside of, or use those dollars to make an investment outside of India. It's against Indian law. The US government actually does care about Indian law. Yes, they want the money to come into the United States, but if you do something that's in violation of Indian law, your petition will be denied.
The International Real Estate Expo 2020 attracted 35 exhibitors representing more than 12 countries from all over the world.
Vanuatu's citizenship program is only a couple of years old in its current iteration. We've seen huge popularity for the program in China, and as we know, business-wise, economically, China, India share some similar characteristics. And I think people who have in the past from China been very attracted to the program, we could say the same could be emerging from the Indian market.
I founded Range Developments in 2012, and our vision is clear: to build the best hotels in the Caribbean. So far we've had success. We opened the Park Hyatt St. Kitts in 2017 to great reviews. CNN put us as the best new hotel in the Caribbean. We're currently focused on the island of Grenada, which is south of St. Kitts and Dominica, where we're building the Six Senses Resort and Spa, which will be an ultra-luxury hotel on the island of Grenada.
Italian Trade Agency, or ITA, participated as the lead partner in IREX 2020. ITA is a government agency that supports the business development of Italian companies abroad and promotes the attraction of foreign investment in Italy. Another lead partner of the expo was Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum City, District 1. The developer from Dubai was offering mansions, villas and residences with 7-kilometer long Crystal Lagoon and 12 kilometers of shoreline to the Indian investor.
We Indians, of course, have been a very integral part of growth in UAE. Today, the majority of businesses are being held by Indians. So as far as investment or relocation for people who are from India are concerned, by looking at how easy visas have become. So it is a good investment, of course, with almost 6 to 7% of rental return.
It's been fantastic to be here in Mumbai and part of the IREX 2020 Expo. It's been very well attended. There's very good atmosphere and vibe. A lot of knowledgeable people, a lot of industry leaders, a lot of good questions, and it's been a joy to be part of, and we look forward to being part of future events with IREX as well.
Country partner Enterprise Greece, the official agency of the Greek state, participated with their national pavilion, which included the 5 major Greek companies: D&A Invest Worldwide Investment Services, Energopis Golden Visa Greece, Pluses Real Estate and Development, V2 Development and Smart Homes Development.
We promote, of course, as Enterprise Greece, we are here to promote the Greek Golden Visa program, which is one of the most competitive programs in Europe, with the lowest amount of 250,000 euros. And the companies that are here with us today, they are here to promote their projects.
CMB Regional Centers, one of the oldest active regional centers within EB5 and conference partner of the expo, had put up their stall who were looking to immigrate to the US through the EB5 visa route.
EB5, as many people know, is the immigration by investment vehicle for the United States. This is actually our second time at IREX. I was in Delhi last year. It's a fantastic event, a lot of traffic, a lot of great investors. You know, the Citizenship by Investment Expo that they put on here is really fantastic. The panels have been great. It's been a pleasure to be at so far.
We have a Turkish product, Turkish citizenship, for $250,000 minimum real estate investment. You get a Turkish citizenship, Turkish passport.
The panel partner of the expo was London-based CS Global Partners, a global marketing agency specializing in attracting foreign direct investment through powerful marketing and PR efforts.
We are global marketing agents for Commonwealth of Dominica, St. Kitts and St. Nevis, and St. Lucia. We market and promote citizenship by investment programs for these countries throughout the globe. CBI as an industry is not showing any signs of slowing down. We're going strong and we meet amazing interest from the Indian market.
Bronze partner of the IREX 2020 was Invest America. At the expo, it promoted Circa Resort and Hotel, which is a 1.3 million square foot resort encompassing 1 square city block in downtown Las Vegas.
The Indian market for EB5, it's still a very good market. EB5 is still the best way for a path to permanent citizenship and being able to live and work in the U.S. with your families. The wait time allows some other programs to help out as well to get there faster, but in the end, EB5 is still the best.
IREX provided a unique opportunity for Indians interested to invest in real estate abroad or seek international residency and citizenship from leading developers and immigration companies from around the globe, thus making it the finest real estate and immigration show in India with a series of successful events since 2015.
IREX Residency and Citizenship Conclave. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.